Introduction. Most men believe that attraction is a game of external accumulation, better clothes, a faster car, or a more polished line. But true attraction isn't something you do, it's a reflection of who you are. In the world of Stoicism, power comes from internal mastery. Women, like all humans, are governed by subconscious psychological triggers that respond to strength, stability, and self-respect. Today, we aren't just looking at tips. We are decoding the 10 hidden triggers of the female psyche that, once mastered, turn you from a pursuer into a man who is pursued. The 10 deep triggers. 1. The pillar of emotional stability. The depth. High-value women often navigate a world of emotional turbulence and social noise. They aren't looking for a man to join them in that chaos. They are looking for the eye of the storm. Why it works. When you remain calm while she is upset, you signal that you are a safe harbor. You prove that your internal state is not dictated by external circumstances. This unshakable nature is the ultimate aphrodisiac because it promises a lifetime of security. 2. The law of scarcity and mystery. The depth. Economics teaches us that value is a function of supply and demand. If you are always available, your price drops to zero. Why it works. Mystery is the fuel of imagination. When you aren't a clickable, open book, she has to fill in the gaps with her own thoughts. By having a life that doesn't revolve around her, you force her to wonder where you are and what you're doing. This mental rent she pays is where deep attraction grows. 3. The primal command of presence. The depth. Long before we had language, we had biology. A deep voice, slow movements, and steady eye contact are evolutionary markers of high testosterone and low cortisol stress. Why it works. Fidgeting and fast talking signal a nervous system in flight mode. By slowing down your speech and owning your physical space, you communicate that you are a predator in your environment in a protective sense, rather than prey. 4. The ultimate power. The ability to walk away. The depth. Most men are terrified of loss, which makes them easy to manipulate. Stoicism teaches that the only thing you truly own is your character. Why it works. When you show that you value your standards more than her presence, you become a prize. A man who can walk away cannot be controlled. This creates a subconscious respect. She knows that to keep you, she must remain at her best. 5. The magnetism of mission. The depth. A man without a purpose is a man with too much time, and a man with too much time eventually becomes a nuisance. Why it works. Women want to be a part of a great adventure, not the adventure itself. When you prioritize your career, craft, or health, you show that you have a direction. This drive suggests that you can provide and protect, even if you haven't reached the finish line yet. 6. Controlled vulnerability. The depth. There is a difference between bleeding and showing a scar. Constant complaining is weakness. Sharing a past struggle that you conquered is intimacy. Why it works. It builds a bridge of trust. By showing your human side selectively, you make her feel like an insider. It makes your stoic armor feel real rather than like a mask, deepening the emotional bond without sacrificing your status as a leader, passing the congruency tests. The depth. Women often test men, often unconsciously, to see if their confidence is real or just a performance. They push buttons to see if you'll explode or crumble. Why it works. If she can rattle you with a comment, she knows she can control you. By remaining playful or indifferent to her prods, you pass the test. You prove that your frame is stronger than hers, which allows her to finally relax and let you lead. Why it works. When you handle a no with a genuine smile and zero bitterness, it is incredibly jarring and attractive. It suggests you have so many options and so much self-worth that one person's opinion doesn't move the needle. Sometimes, this reaction alone is enough to make her reconsider. 9. Calculated unpredictability. The depth. Boredom is the silent killer of attraction. If she knows exactly what you'll text and when you'll call, the game is over. Why it works. Human brains are wired to seek rewards. By being slightly unpredictable, sometimes intense, sometimes distant, sometimes surprising, you keep her dopamine levels high. You become a puzzle she is constantly trying to solve.
10.
Self-mastery over primal urges. The depth. We live in a world of instant gratification. A man who can say no to his own lust and yes to his long-term goals is a rare breed. Why it works. If you aren't a slave to your own desires, you won't be a slave to her. This self-discipline is the highest form of power. It signals that you choose her because you want to, not because you need to, which changes the entire power dynamic of the relationship. Conclusion. Mastering these 10 triggers isn't about manipulating women. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. When you prioritize your mission, control your emotions, and value your own time, attraction becomes an automated byproduct of your existence. You stop chasing and you start attracting. Remember, the world treats you the way you treat yourself. Stand tall, stay grounded, and let your character do the talking.